Imagine waking up in a city where the sun is barely up, but ideas are already flying. Where your phone lights up with new messages before your eyes even adjust to the daylight. Where meetings don't start with a rigid agenda, but with a joke, a raised voice, maybe a little argument, and a sudden breakthrough. Where no one's really on time, because time bends around momentum, passion, and instinct. In this city, chaos isn't feared. It's expected. And somehow, out of that chaos, something amazing often emerges, a product, a company, a new idea that wasn't on yesterday's plan. Now imagine waking up somewhere else. No buzzing notifications, no noise, just soft light filtering through the curtains. You sit down to a quiet breakfast, maybe with family, maybe alone, but always with time. No multitasking, no rush, just presence. Here, mornings are sacred, and silence isn't awkward, it's respected. There's no need to prove yourself before 9 a.m. Your worth isn't tied to how early you replied to an email, but to how well you show up when it actually matters. Welcome to Israel. Welcome to Norway. Two countries that share little in climate, culture, or pace. Two radically different approaches to work, time, and success. Two definitions of what it means to have a productive day. In Israel, the workplace is a living organism, loud, reactive, passionate. Deadlines might shift, meetings might explode, and plans might change 3 times before lunch. But the energy? It's electric. You don't wait for hierarchy. You speak up. You push. You challenge. If something needs fixing, you fix it now. No need for permission. In Norway, the pace is slower, but no less intentional. Structure isn't bureaucracy, it's freedom through clarity. People arrive on time, speak in turn, and listen just as much as they talk. There are no sudden all-nighters. No glorification of burnout. Boundaries are clear, and everyone understands them, from the intern to the CEO. Where an Israeli might say, "Why wait?" A Norwegian might smile and ask, "Why rush?" High Voltage one thrives on speed, spontaneity, and high-stakes improvisation. The other is built on stability, emotional safety, and well-balanced lives. And yet, here's the twist. Both systems work. They produce results. They inspire people. They build futures. So, the real question isn't which is better, but which one would actually work for you. Because behind these cultural contrasts lie much deeper, human questions. Light bulb, what truly motivates us to get out of bed and start our day? Hammer and wrench, is freedom the ability to do whatever you want, or the security of knowing exactly what to expect? Globe showing Europe, Africa, and at the end of the day, where do people feel more alive, more connected, more in control of their time? Today, we're going to explore both worlds. We'll live one day in the shoes of an Israeli worker, and one day in the life of a Norwegian. From the first alarm clock to the last email, from breakfast routines to evening rituals. And maybe, by watching these two rhythms side by side, you'll see yourself more clearly in one of them. So stick around, because this comparison might just change how you think about work, time, and what it means to truly feel comfortable in your day-to-day life. Let's begin. A day in the life of someone who moves fast, talks loud, and works with heart. Sun morning. In Israel, mornings often begin before the alarm, not because people are overly disciplined, but because life here starts early. Kids are already getting ready for school, messages are popping up in work chats, and the streets are filling with the buzz of scooters, honking cars, barking dogs, bakery smells, distant radios playing Mizrahi music, and people shouting greetings across the road. Many people in cities like Tel Aviv or Haifa wake up around 6:30, 7:00 a.m. in long meditation sessions. Maybe a quick stretch, maybe not. The first priority is often coffee, strong, fast, preferably black, sometimes with milk, rarely with peace and quiet. A quick breakfast follows. Toast with avocado, some cottage cheese, eggs, or a burrika grabbed on the go. This isn't a country of long, slow breakfasts. It's a country of motion. You'll often find people checking their phones while brushing their teeth, already replying to work groups, or organizing carpools. If someone has kids, mornings are even more dynamic. One hand pouring cereal, the other emailing the team. For some, breakfast is skipped entirely in favor of a cigarette and espresso outside a corner kiosk. Others eat while checking emails, listening to the radio, or texting 3 different people simultaneously. The morning soundtrack is noise, scooters revving, phone calls on speaker, elevator doors opening to full-volume conversations. It's not calm, but it's full of life. It's the sound of a country that runs on ideas, urgency, and caffeine. And the mood? Focused, slightly chaotic, often already in go mode. Even small talk has a sense of urgency. Jokes fly fast, but so do updates and reminders. Conversations often multitask. You can laugh, complain, and negotiate all in one sentence. For parents, the morning includes daycare drop-offs, school logistics, and checking 5 apps before getting out the door. It's a race, but somehow a familiar, rhythmic one. You get used to the adrenaline. Some people take a moment to read the news, often from multiple sources at once, as if to confirm what kind of energy the day might bring. Politics, protests, product launches, or just more heat. Bicycle commute. Israelis get to work however they can. Cars, scooters, bikes, buses, and a surprising number walk. Commutes in major cities usually range between 20 and 45 minutes, often filled with multitasking. People listen to podcasts, answer voice notes, or, yes, join work calls while still in traffic. Noise is part of the culture, and so is flexibility. There's an unwritten rule. If you can be productive in motion, do it. Don't be surprised if someone takes a call mid-bus ride and starts solving a technical issue on speaker. It's not considered rude, it's just real life. In fact, it's common to overhear full sales pitches on a crowded street. Rush hour in Israel isn't just movement, it's momentum. You're catching up before the day has fully started. You check headlines, voice back your manager, and mentally prep for a spontaneous team pivot, all before you arrive. There's a hustle in the air, but it's not just about stress, it's about connection. You wave to your neighbor, grab coffee from the guy who knows your order, and maybe have a heated political debate before 8 a.m. Even the public transport has its rhythm. Bus drivers blasting their favorite playlist, passengers balancing laptops on their knees, and someone probably offering unsolicited advice. Office building start of the workday. Work typically begins around 8:30 to 9 a.m., but there's a lot of flexibility depending on the industry. Startups? You might roll in at 10. Public offices? Expect more punctuality. Most workspaces are casual, open-plan offices, co-working spaces, or cafes with good Wi-Fi. Remote work exists, but hasn't fully replaced in-person culture. People still value face-to-face energy. The vibe in the morning is high energy and informal. Expect people walking into meetings late, interrupting each other mid-sentence, and diving into heated discussions that somehow lead to genius solutions. Hierarchy exists, but only barely. You can challenge your boss directly in a meeting. Disagreeing isn't rude. It's engagement. If you're too quiet, they might wonder if you care. There are always snacks, always coffee, always someone pitching an idea in the hallway. Coffee breaks happen often and aren't always scheduled. It's not uncommon to have 4 espressos before lunch and 3 passionate debates in between. The workday can be a roller coaster. You might start with a strategy meeting, pivot to customer support, then end up redesigning a product based on spontaneous feedback. It's unpredictable, and that's part of the thrill. Meetings are fast, messy, productive. Someone's always saying, wait, what if we just? And suddenly a whiteboard is full, and a new direction is born. Fork and knife with plate lunch and breaks. Lunch is typically between 12:30 and 2 p.m., depending on the company. There's no silent cafeteria here. Lunch is loud, social, fast-paced. People go out in groups or order in together. Hummus, falafel, shawarma, salad bowls, schnitzel, sushi, anything that's fast, tasty, and shareable. Conversations move quickly, mixing jokes, team gossip, and serious planning. It's not just about eating, it's about staying in the loop. New projects have been known to start over a shared plate of hummus. Lunch can last 30 to 60 minutes, but no one times it. Sometimes people keep working while eating, especially in tech or media fields. Other times, lunch turns into a spontaneous brainstorm or team therapy session. Formal breaks? Not really. Everything blends. Work talk during lunch, life talk during meetings. You might be discussing a marketing campaign while ordering dessert. If someone steps out to pray or call their mom, it's totally fine. Flexibility is woven into the day. And if someone's running late, no problem. Things adjust. And yes, lunch might end with a short walk, or just another coffee, because why not? 4 o'clock end of workday. Technically, the workday ends around 5:30 to 6 p.m., but in practice, it depends. Startups and fast-paced industries often see people working until 7 or 8 p.m., sometimes longer. Overtime isn't praised, but it's expected if there's a deadline or an opportunity. People don't mind staying late if it matters, if there's a shared sense of, let's just finish it, especially in small teams. And if someone leaves at 4 p.m. to pick up their kid, no one judges. There's also a strong family culture here. But be ready to get work messages late in the evening. The off button isn't very popular. WhatsApp is a work tool. So is voice messaging. And sometimes, ideas come flying in at 10 p.m. and people answer. Even when the workday ends, the energy doesn't stop, it just shifts. Cityscape at dusk evening. Evenings are for life, but life is loud and busy here too. Some people hit the gym or go running on the beach promenade. Others meet friends at bars, grab a late dinner, go to a live show, or just walk around and talk, loudly, always loudly. Social life bleeds into work life, colleagues become friends, and friends become collaborators. Weekdays don't feel like quiet recharge days, they feel like an extension of the same energy. Dinner at home might happen at 9 p.m. And yes, the laptop may still be open in the corner. Kids might be doing homework nearby while one parent replies to work messages. The rhythm never truly stops, it just shifts between priorities. A planning session in the morning, a birthday dinner at night, and possibly both in one day. Even in leisure, Israelis rarely slow down. There's always one more thing to say, one more message to send, one more plan to make. Glow showing Europe-Africa cultural notes. Directness is everywhere. People say what they mean, and fast. You won't get many maybes, just a yes, no, or let's do it right now. Dressing up is rare. T-shirts, jeans, and sneakers are standard, even for people in charge. Bosses aren't untouchable. You can joke with them, criticize their idea, or pitch yours without an appointment. They might love it. Improvisation is part of the culture. Plans can change quickly, and people adjust just as fast. Intensity is normal. Passion is part of professionalism here. Being emotional doesn't mean being unprofessional. It often means you care. Energy is collective. If one person is fired up, the whole team catches on. Momentum spreads quickly, and the line between personal drive and group mission often blurs. And the thing that surprises foreigners most? Collision the intensity. There's warmth, but it's not gentle. There's teamwork, but it's messy. There's structure, but it's hidden under layers of improvisation. It's a place where you might feel overwhelmed, but rarely bored. Because in Israel, anything can happen in one workday. A day in the life of someone who values calm, clarity, and quiet confidence. Sun morning. In Norway, mornings begin slowly and gently. There's no chaos, no rush, just the quiet ritual of starting the day with intention. Most Norwegians wake up between 6:30 and 7:30 a.m., often depending on whether they have children to prepare for school or a short commute. The first hour is not for productivity, it's for presence, for breathing, for mentally preparing. A typical Norwegian morning involves soft light through large windows, a tidy kitchen, and the smell of fresh coffee, often brewed from high-quality beans and sipped in silence or soft conversation. Some people light a candle at breakfast, even in summer, a little hygge to start the day. Breakfast is simple and healthy, whole grain bread with cheese, cucumber, smoked salmon, or eggs. Some opt for yogurt with muesli, often topped with berries in season. Children eat similar meals. There's little distinction between adult and child food here. Food is functional, nourishing, and unprocessed. The tone of the morning is peaceful, focused, and unhurried. Many Norwegians check the news, the weather, or perhaps their work calendar, but rarely while multitasking. Screens are present, but not dominant. It's not a culture of waking up to 40 unread messages or frantic updates. Even families with kids maintain a rhythm. Children are taught from a young age to be self-reliant, to get dressed on their own, prepare their lunchbox, and pack their school bag. No shouting, no scrambling, just a steady flow from home to the next phase of the day. Some people take time to walk their dog or even go for a short jog before work. The connection to nature, even before 8 a.m., is real and important. Person walking commute. The commute in Norway is often quiet and surprisingly calming. Many Norwegians walk or bike to work, even in the colder months. Public transport, buses, trams, ferries, and trains is clean, efficient, and reliable. Punctuality is expected, and infrastructure is designed with comfort and sustainability in mind. Average commute times range from 20 to 40 minutes, and silence is the default setting. People read books, listen to podcasts, or simply look out the window. Conversations are minimal, and loud phone calls are rare. Headphones are worn respectfully, and eye contact is brief. Even traffic feels more patient. Horns are barely used, and there's an unspoken rule: don't stress other people out. Road rage is rare. Courtesy is normal. If the weather is nice, which, in Norway, often means not raining heavily, people enjoy a bit of fresh air on their way. The connection to nature, even in small doses, is a major part of daily life. Office buildings often have bike parking, drying racks for wet clothes, and hot tea waiting inside. Adult laptop computers start of the workday. Most office jobs in Norway start between 8 o'clock and 9 a.m., with people arriving on time, not early, not late. Punctuality is seen as a sign of respect, not control. It shows that you value others' time as much as your own. Workplaces are clean, minimal, and well-lit. Many companies have open floor plans, but with plenty of personal space. Noise is low. People speak quietly. Focus is valued. There's often a shelf of shared books or a corner with plants, spaces that reflect a respect for balance. Meetings start when they're supposed to and end on time. There's a clear agenda. Interruptions are rare, and discussions are civil, even when people disagree. Everyone gets a chance to speak. Silence is allowed while people think. Hierarchy exists, but it's subtle. Leaders are approachable and don't act superior. It's common for a manager to make their own coffee and sit with the team. Flat structure is not just a buzzword, it's a way of working. There's no culture of staying late to impress anyone. What matters is how well you work, not how long you're at your desk. Delivering results, not showing effort, is the standard. For a knife-wood plate lunch and breaks. Lunch happens between 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. It's usually a cold meal brought from home, open-faced sandwiches, fruit, maybe leftovers. The lunchbox is a cultural staple. Packed with care, eaten with simplicity. Some workplaces have canteens with simple hot food, but lunch isn't about indulgence, it's about recharging. Heavy meals are rare. Portions are moderate. You eat to feel good, not to impress or reward yourself. The lunch break lasts 30 minutes to an hour, and people actually take it. They step away from their desks. They sit in break rooms, outside if it's sunny, or take a walk. Some go to the rooftop, others to a park bench. It's common to eat while looking out at water, forest, or sky. Conversations are light. It's time to rest the brain. Talking about work is okay, but not expected. Jokes are quiet, not loud. Laughter comes in short bursts, warm but not attention-seeking. There's also a short coffee break in the morning or afternoon called kaffepaus, often with a small pastry. It's social, but low pressure. You don't have to join. You can just breathe. In some offices, Friday kaffepaus includes waffles. It's a treat, but not a distraction. Just a moment of shared pleasure before heading back to your screen. 5 o'clock end of the workday. The workday ends between 4 o'clock and 5 p.m. People leave on time, and no one raises an eyebrow. Colleagues may say "God help" on Friday, or simply "Ha det bra, take care." On a regular evening, nothing dramatic, just closure. In Norway, staying late is often seen as a sign that your workload isn't managed well, not that you're a hard worker. There's pride in efficiency, not exhaustion. People trust systems to protect them from burnout. There's a strong emphasis on work-life balance. The workday has its space, and so does the rest of life. Work is just one part of your identity, not the core of it. Once people leave the office, they disconnect. They don't check emails constantly. They don't feel guilty for not replying after hours. Many remove work apps from their personal phones entirely. This boundary is protected culturally and often legally. Some companies even have rules against contacting employees after work unless it's an emergency. And people respect those rules because they see each other as humans, not machines. Cityscape at dusk evening. Evenings in Norway are calm. People go home, cook dinner, spend time with family, or do something solo: reading, walking, watching a show. Hobbies are encouraged. Time alone is not seen as sad, it's seen as wise. Dinner is usually around 6 p.m., and the pace is slow. Norwegians value quality time. Many families eat together, and even if the meal is simple: potatoes, vegetables, fish, the atmosphere is warm, unrushed, and free of distractions. After dinner, people often go outside for a walk, a bike ride, or just some air. Even in winter, this ritual of connecting with nature continues. It's part of the culture. It resets the mind and prepares you for rest. Some attend fitness classes, play music, or meet friends. But everything is paced. No pressure to be productive, just to be present. You don't need a reason to do something, enjoying it is enough. By 9 o'clock or 10 p.m., most households are winding down. Lights dim, screens turn off, and a sense of peace takes over. It's not dramatic, it's just a gentle closing to the day. Children go to bed on time, and adults follow a slow, quiet rhythm towards sleep. Glow showing Europe-Africa cultural notes. Equality is key. Titles matter less than ideas. A junior employee can speak freely, and their input is taken seriously. Meetings aren't dominated by senior voices. Modesty is valued. Bragging is frowned upon. People show their competence through actions, not words. There's a cultural phrase: don't think you're better than anyone else. Silence is not awkward. It's normal, comfortable. You don't need to fill every pause. Reflection is part of communication. Trust is high. People believe in each other to do their jobs. No micromanagement, no drama. This trust creates freedom and responsibility. Nature is part of the work-life rhythm. Many offices organize hikes or cabin trips. It's not team building with forced smiles. It's shared simplicity in nature. And what surprises visitors most? Evergreen tree, the peace, the silence, the respect, the space, both physical and mental. In Norway, you don't need to shout to be heard. You just need to show up, do your part, and let the rest unfold. It's not flashy. It's not frantic. But it works. Because sometimes, comfort isn't about chasing more. It's about knowing when enough is enough. Comparison: Israel versus Norway. Direct hit: where does comfort live? In chaos or in calm? In passion or in predictability? 7 o'clock wake-up routine. Israel. The day often starts before the alarm. Energy is high from the first minute. There's noise, motion, multitasking, and the sense that you're already running late for something important. Breakfast is quick, fuel more than a moment. Norway. The day begins with presence. Waking up is a slow process. Coffee is savored. Silence is welcome. Breakfast is light, healthy, and unhurried. The goal isn't to conquer the morning. It's to ease into it. Verdict: one runs, the other flows. Bus commute. Israel. Commutes are unpredictable, intense, and often filled with multitasking, phone calls, voice notes, and last-minute planning. Noise is normal. Deadlines don't wait. Norway. Commutes are calm. People walk, cycle, or use silent public transport. No loud conversations. No stress. Even in traffic, patience rules. Verdict: chaos versus control. A race versus a stroll. Adult briefcase work environment. Israel. The workplace is casual, passionate, and intense. Hierarchies are flat, but debates are loud. Meetings feel like brainstorming sessions on fast forward. You're expected to speak up, or you risk being overlooked. Norway. The workplace is structured, respectful, and balanced. Hierarchies exist, but are understated. Meetings follow agendas. Everyone gets a voice, in turn, and without interruption. Verdict: fire versus flow. Innovation through conflict versus progress through consensus. Green salad lunch and breaks. Israel. Lunch is social, loud, sometimes fast, sometimes improvised. Work talk blends with life talk. Breaks are flexible and fluid. Norway. Lunch is quiet, predictable, and often brought from home. Breaks are clearly defined. People disconnect, even if just for 20 minutes of peace and fresh air. Verdict: community over formality versus structure over spontaneity. 5 o'clock end of the day. Israel. Work can stretch well into the evening. Boundaries blur. WhatsApp buzzes late. If there's a goal to hit, the team stays until it's done, no questions asked. Norway. Work ends on time. Boundaries are sacred. After 5 p.m., it's rare to hear from a colleague unless it's urgent. Your evening is yours, by default, not exception. Verdict: hustle versus harmony. Burn bright versus rest fully. Cityscape at dusk: evenings and leisure. Israel. Evenings are just as active as the day. Fitness, social life, more meetings, more calls. Life doesn't slow down, it just changes gears. Norway. Evenings are about decompression. Dinner, nature, hobbies, family. The volume drops. Time expands. Verdict: extroverted rhythm versus introverted reset. Globe showing Europe-Africa cultural values. Israel. Speed, innovation, improvisation, directness, intensity, and emotional honesty. Everything can change, and that's part of the magic. Norway. Balance, modesty, trust, respect for silence, personal space, and emotional restraint. Stability is not boring, it's protective. Verdict. A culture of urgency versus a culture of enough. Brain final thoughts. There's no better here, only different. Israel shows us the power of momentum, how things happen when you push. Norway reminds us that peace is productive too, and that deep comfort can come from routine, not disruption. Some people thrive on unpredictability and passion. Others bloom in quiet, dependable order. So ask yourself, do you want to feel everything or breathe through everything? Both countries offer a unique vision of the good life. And somewhere in between, perhaps, is the balance we're all seeking.